But I think one of the things that's interested me with Endeavour is the notion of cross-functional teams, very focused on delivering priority use cases. Now, I'm not suggesting that's unique. However, I've got a feeling you guys sort of uniquely embrace it. So I'd just like to understand a little bit around that cross-functional team, the prioritizing of user case studies, and just how that plays out in the real world.
Yeah, look, I read somewhere that
and sorry, with my question, am I right that in a sense defines the feel of your role, this interaction, this cross-functional piece?
It does. And that is definitely the mass majority of my time is in building those relationships between the right people in the right places. But, I read somewhere that cross-functional teams were invented in the 1950s or something rubbish like that. But that's not true, of course, right? I mean, even within our communities, right? If you think about since the dawn of time, everyone specializes into a role, shares a common goal of whatever, right? Getting food on the table the next day, right? Yeah. And everyone goes out and does their parts.
Yeah.
So it's really just common sense to bring that ethos of let people specialize, get people who are the best in their field and put them together in a room to solve the hardest problems.
I think what's actually happened is it was never invented, it was innate.
I think
and
I
has then been
agree.
dialed out by organizations.
I absolutely agree. We started to compartmentalize. It was easy to manage people, right? It was easy to lead people if you had a team of just marketers and team
blame people. Lot easier to blame people.
Much easier to blame people. The bloody data scientists off in their own world again. But so no one invented that, right? So I really think it is. Yes, it is part of what makes my role, but it's also the most natural part of my role, right? It's the most natural part of the organization. Is why wouldn't you put a head of merchandising, someone who makes all the decisions about our wine purchasing and the awards and stuff that we win? Why wouldn't you put them with the data scientist trying to build out the model of tastes and flavors, and the analyst who's trying to compare or capture customer information on their purchases and stuff? Why wouldn't you put them in a room? Because there's something really magic that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I've got to say, I think that's it's been great coming into Endeavour and seeing that embedded. It's not first nature for everyone, because I think we are moving out of an era of organizations working in a different way. But then, exactly as you said, it is innate within us that is the way that we produce excellence. So it's very, very natural.
And that's presumably a huge positive of having joined. I mean, that must empower you.
Absolutely. And I'll be honest, if anything, I've worked in, like I said, I worked in or supported some startups, I worked in small mediums. There's more cross-organization collaboration in an organization of this size, because it can actually afford to really embrace it. It's like a critical mass because we're not as resource constrained as those SMEs and stuff. So you can actually say, I do need a head of category or a head of merchandising to join this for a bit.
Yeah.
Right? Because they go, geez, that's expensive. You say, yeah, but it's going to be worth it, right? So it's actually embraced more here than plenty of much smaller organizations that I've seen and worked in.